Put him in a bedroom. Bobby, put him in the bedroom. Put him in the bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
I came into contact with somebody from one of the big four. Ended up becoming kind of a mentor to me. He's now a member of our club.
Man, when I first saw my first Hell's Angel standing there, I was like, that's what I want to be, man.
If you're running a three-piece, just like it is truly an outlaw standard. Doesn't make you a one percenter, but it makes you an outlaw.
This is what I believe in, and it was awesome to see that my brothers believed in me.
It's the wolf leading the sheep, man. The sheep need to open their eyes because they're about to walk off the cliff where the whole other pack of wolves are at the bottom.
If you were getting your lunch money taken before you put them rags on, if they catch you by yourself, they're going to take your lunch money again.
I try to be around the guys and hang out with them as much as possible and get to know them, because that's really what it's about.
The Hells Angels are being arraigned.
One man was stabbed in the chest, another was knocked out, who faced criminal charges, including charges of hate crimes as well as gang allegations. One defendant faces an attempted murder charge, so this certainly appears to be a widespread investigation.
Welcome to this episode of Chattin with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today we're going to talk about a wild story, an unsolved murder, but I got some details for you. I know somebody who's closely connected to this case, so it's pretty wild, and I'm going to explain some things. When you hear this story, you're going to be like, wow, it's pretty wild. So it's an unsolved murder of a young kid, and I'm going to explain exactly what happened, some details that might not be in the public eye. Before we get started, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. Tell a friend to tell a friend, tell your mother's, brother's, sister's friend about Chattin with Staxx, the dopest motorcycle content on YouTube. If you guys aren't aware, Gene Simmons was hospitalized. He was in a car accident. He was taken to the hospital. He was unconscious when that happened. Another major thing that's going on, Bruce Cutler, John Gotti's attorney, has passed away. You guys all know who Bruce Cutler is. I mean, everybody should know who that is. He's a pretty well-known name. He has passed away. Let me give some shout outs before we get started. Lindsay, how are you? Thank you for joining me. I appreciate everything you do for this channel. Hope you're having a great day. Jaman, what's good? Eddie, how are you? Rah. Good afternoon. You guys are all great. I appreciate you. We are hitting milestones every single day. We hit 18,200 and something. 200 and something. And we're growing every single day. I couldn't be more happy on where we are with this show. You guys are all very supportive. So we're going to talk about a bunch of different things. Let's see here. So this case, the first case that we're going to talk about, this man and this woman were arrested. Here's the man. Here's the woman. Ew. So they were arrested. They were convicted. Well, the man was convicted. He's allegedly a part of a motorcycle club. I don't believe they say which club. So this is the article that came out when he first got arrested. This happened last year, October 23rd, 2024. Cordy Allen. I don't know exactly where that is, but police said stolen game camera helped them locate a couple who's allegedly possessed more than 2 pounds of methamphetamine and 14 firearms. Daniel Cove, 54, and Christina, it's spelled really weird, Ferguson, 45, both of Condor, or Cordine Allen, face charges of unlawful possession of firearms, trafficking methamphetamine. The pair also face habitual offender enhancements. According to police, the charges stem from October 15th, when a game camera was reported stolen. The camera continued to transmit photos and GPS locations. According to the Kunti County Sheriff's Office, leading police to a resident on 15th Street. Let me find out exactly what state this is. Hold on. Let me, because it's only right for me to get that information for you guys. Let's see. All right, it's in Idaho. This is in Idaho. So he stole a game camera. Not too bright. I mean, it's beaming GPS location and photos as he's taking it. So, he's bringing it in his house and it's like beaming photos and video of where he is. So multiple agencies responded to the home on Monday night. This was last year. The search of the place allegedly yielded about 2.5 pounds of methamphetamine, as well as 14 firearms and the game camera. At the place were this couple. This woman, Christine Ferguson, and this man, Grove. His last name's Grove. Daniel Grove. So, he was sentenced to 20 years in prison. Man was sentenced to 20 years in prison for meth trafficking and firearm possession. This is in Idaho. 55-year-old Cordiali. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Probably not. I'm probably butchering it. The man has been sentenced to 20 years in prison for drug trafficking and multiple firearms violation following a 2024 investigation that began with a stolen trail camera. According to the Kunti County Prosecuting Attorney's Office, Daniel Patrick Grove was convicted of trafficking methamphetamine and 14 counts of unlawful possession of a firearm. The case stemmed from an incident on October 15th, 2024, when officers tracked a stolen trail camera to Grove's residence using its live location and motion activation photo features. So this guy's not too bright. He steals a trail camera and it has GPS location on it, and it's taking live photos and videos of his location. The images transmitted from the camera showed a tattooed man holding a firearm inside the residence. Using visible tattoos and the address, investigators identified Grove, who had multiple prior felony convictions and was prohibited from possessing firearms. After obtaining a search warrant, officers searched Grove's home and found the stolen trail camera, several firearms, and more than 2 pounds of methamphetamine hidden in various containers throughout the residence, including a safe, a false book, and a concealed compartment. Firearms were located behind Grove's bed and in the closet, while investigators also found patches linking him to an outlaw motorcycle club. Grove's criminal history spans more than 30 years, including convictions for burglary, assault on a police officer, resisting arrest. Prosecutors sought a 40-year sentence with parole eligibility after 20 years. The judge ultimately sentenced Grove to 20-year term with eligibility for parole after 10 years. He looks up there in age, so I don't know. What do you guys think? He's going to make it through this sentence? It's a pretty big sentence. prosecutor attorney commented or condemned deputy prosecuting attorney in the sheriff's office for the work on their case. So he will be spending the next 10 years in prison. And I don't know what happened with the woman. I don't know if she was convicted. It doesn't say. But Idaho. What's the dominant club out there in Idaho? Does anybody know? Let's see here. The Axemen MC. Who knows? But it says he was a part of an outlaw club. So I don't know. It doesn't say exactly the name. I mean, if I did some digging, I could probably find out. Brother Speed. Who knows? It's irrelevant. But he's in prison for quite a while. So today, we're going to be talking about the Heavens Devils Motorcycle Club out of Wisconsin. So they are, I've heard of them before in the past. Pretty well-known club in Wisconsin, in the Midwest. So they were at war with the Outlaws. A pretty intense war back in the day. So the history of the Heavens Devils: in the late 60s and early 70s, they saw a surge of growth in the club. Returning veterans sought to continue the sense of brotherhood and excitement of the military by banding together with other like-minded individuals. Motorcycles of choice was, of course, the Harley Davidson. Most were panheads and a few knuckleheads. Weekend run always included a lot of tools and spare parts, and sure to be some breakdowns. In spite of mechanical problems, there were a few places that the club couldn't ride to in a weekend. From Copper Harbor to Michigan, La Crosse, Wisconsin, Savannah, Illinois, the Heavens Devils were well known and occasionally not welcome back. So they obviously caused a lot of problems. In the late 70s brought tragedy as gang wars, bar shootings, and motorcycle accidents claimed the lives of several of our members. Now, this is directly from their website. We are all aware that these things can happen, but that didn't make our loss any easier to bear. We remember these and all these fallen members every year with a memorial service at the grave sites and a party afterwards. Gone but not forgotten. In the same theme, we toast to those who have passed before us. Though the generosity of one club member and the club has established a common gravesite so we may remain together for all of eternity. So they have their own gravesite where they get buried at. In the 80s, 90s, they saw clubs celebrate its 20th and 30th anniversaries with huge outdoor parties, including pig roast, music, fireworks. Membership grew as people from all over Wisconsin wanted to join the club. With the tradition and history of the Heavens Devils, many of our members have come from other motorcycle clubs and joined the Devils because they liked what they saw. The club maintains a strict set of rules, and any violation deemed to be detriment to the club can result in expulsion. The last decades brought with our 40th anniversary celebrated another great party and a full social calendar. That included summer runs and more parties, some motorcycle rides to places like Daytona, Sturgis, and around Lake Michigan. The club continues its tradition of fun motorcycles riding brotherhood. As we celebrate our 50th anniversary, we honor those who came before us. R.I.P. Remember those who have lost and look forward to continuing the legacy of our founding members. The Heavens Devils have been around longer than cell phones, computers, and microwaves. And 8 United States presidents. We are here to stay. So they were involved in a pretty major war with the Outlaws out in Wisconsin in the 70s, 60s, 70s. So the Outlaws Motorcycle Club has a presence in Wisconsin. And the Heavens Devils are a Wisconsin-grown motorcycle club. That's where they're from, born and bred. Now, the Outlaws are from Chicago, and they eventually moved to Wisconsin. The Outlaws Motorcycle Club has a presence in Wisconsin with chapters in cities like Milwaukee, La Crosse, Janesville. The club's Milwaukee chapter is known as the Wrecking Crew, with historically involved in drug and car theft operations. Outlaw clubs, including the Outlaws Motorcycle Club, are sometimes involved with criminal activity and are considered an outlaw club by law enforcement. Wisconsin chapters are the Outlaws has at least 8 chapters in Wisconsin in known locations like Milwaukee, La Crosse, and Janesville. Here's a history of their criminal activity. The Milwaukee chapter is linked to drug trafficking and car theft. In the 1980s, DEA reported indictment in the Milwaukee chapter controlled by methamphetamine market in Wisconsin. The club is also involved in distribution of cocaine, marijuana in the Milwaukee area. So they were obviously going through a motorcycle club war, a biker war between them and the Outlaws, the Heavens Devils and the Outlaws. So some scrimmages would go back and forth, but this incident would claim the life of a young man. And I'm going to explain why and how this even happened. So, this kid's name is Larry Anstett. Anstett. The murder goes unsolved after 50 years. In 1974, the 15-year-old newspaper carrier saw a colorfully wrapped package sitting on the roof of a nearby car. He touched the box, and an instant later, it exploded in his face. Larry was dead before he hit the ground. So this young kid, he was only 15 years old. He was delivering newspapers, and there was a box on the roof. I think it was a Cadillac. And he's walking by, he's delivering newspapers, and he sees this package on top of the roof, and he goes to touch it. Boom! Right when he moved it. You know, a lot of these people were coming back from the war around that time, and they had some pretty intense rivalries with the Heavens Devils and the Outlaws at the time. So that's where this whole thing even transpired from. The person's house, the kid, hey, Mike Ball, what's going on? Damn, we got a lot of people showing up. Jimmy, what's going on? Mike Ball, shout out to Mike Ball. Go check out Mike Ball's channel. Naomi, how are you? Thank you for joining me today. She says, Mike Ball raid. I really appreciate that. Steve, how are you? Sick bastard, what's good? Carney's ride in the house. We only got 6 likes. Let's get them likes up, people. Steve, what's going on? Posey, good morning. Well, good afternoon. Mountain Woman, how are you? Tell your husband I said hello. Shout out to Carney's Ride. He's been a member for 8 months. I really appreciate that. Go check out Carney's Ride. You got some content too, don't you? Make sure you guys hit the like button. Paula, what's going on? Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me today. Trace Sunrise, what's going on? I don't know if that first case was federal. I'm not sure. It doesn't say. He probably should be, right? Wicked Wally, how are you? Thank you for joining me. Don't worry, y'all. He sees it after he's done reading the segment. Of course. I see everything. Yeah, usually when I'm reading something, I'm not looking at the chat. So, Staxx, you've been raided. I appreciate that, Jimmy Mack. ADX? No, I don't think he went to ADX. Sick bastard, what's good? Thanks for reminding me of the Vagos episode on Gangland. There's some false narratives in that episode. Definitely some people perpetrating some bullshit. If I've ever seen any. Wow. It's insane the things that they let people get away with. It's crazy. I don't understand it, but hey, ain't my monkeys, ain't my circus, right? Rob, what's going on? Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for gifting a membership, Lindsay. Wydell, what's going on? I see Wydell over there on Patreon all the time. Tell them about the content, Wydell. Wydell's always over there on Patreon. Well, our Patreon is growing at a pretty fast pace. Shout out to everybody on Patreon. I'm going to be uploading some more videos over there, too. Spiders Club, what's going on? Thank you for joining me today. So people were talking about the video from yesterday where people were lane splitting. But, yeah, lane splitting is legal in California, but you're not supposed to do it on the highway going 60 miles an hour. No bueno. That's illegal. If you guys read the law, you're only supposed to lane split not all the time. You're only supposed to do it when it's safe and at low speeds. Can't blow by cars on the highway. Like, it doesn't work like that. You can't do it unsafely. Go read the law. You'll see exactly what they mean by the lane splitting laws. Content on Patreon is a real deal. Thank you. We're faster than the speed of traffic. Yeah, but that video, like the video that I showed yesterday, that's illegal as fuck, man. Whole group of guys lane splitting, flying through traffic. You're not supposed to do that. That's totally illegal. What they were doing here. Let's play the video real quick and then we'll get back to the story. Boom. Illegal. 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 All illegal. Boom. Boom. Illegal. That is 100% illegal lane splitting. You cannot do that. That's just reckless. You know what I'm saying? A few moments later, boom, they're all on the ground. And these are Hell's Angels. Watch, he tries to get up and he stumbles around like he's stunned. You could see him laying on the ground, right? You see the guy on the bike. Watch. You could see him right here. Boom, see him trying to get up? He's stumbling. And those are all members of the Hell's Angels. They must have clipped the car or something. Right there, you see him? Watch, he tries to get up and he's stumbling around. Yo, Pink Panther, what's going on? Shout out to Pink Panther. Make sure you hit me up after this live stream, Pink Panther. This is in California. I forgot the exact place, but I'll get it for you. It'll be on Facebook. How you doing, Roxana? Thank you for joining me today. Shout out to the Pink Panther. A lot of great content on the way. So, let's get back to the story. This young kid right here, his name's Larry, I believe. Here's Larry's grave. Anstett. So, in 1974, the 15-year-old newspaper carrier saw a colorful wrap package sitting on the roof of a nearby car. He touched it, and the box, in an instant later, it exploded in his face. Larry was dead before he hit the ground. One of his eyes was torn from his socket. His face was burned beyond recognition. The blast tore both hands from Larry's wrists. Shrapnel shredded his lungs, his windpipe, and his heart. His body sustained over 200 wounds. Larry died on the spot, falling face down by the car. An anonymous witness said that 30 seconds after the explosion, a white pickup truck pulled away from the curb and sped down North 83rd Street. A shovel and a broom were sticking from the rear. Michael Vermilla raced from his home when he heard the explosion. His 1971 Oldsmobile was on fire, and pieces of it were scattered on a lawn along with Larry's body. He immediately knew the deadly bomb was meant for him. Vermilla was a member of the local motorcycle group known as Heaven's Devils. He was marked for death after he provided police with facts pertinent to a violent gang war with another motorcycle club called the Outlaws. They knew where I lived, he said. He later told police. It was supposed to be me who got killed, not an innocent kid. The Milwaukee Sentinel posted a $5,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of Larry's killer. Vermilla's father added $1,000 to the reward money. After Larry's murder, 2 police detectives were assigned to work the case full time, following up on leads and interviewing people of interest. Some members of the Outlaws blamed the paper boy for picking up the package. But after a year, the case went cold due to lack of evidence and people refusing to talk for fear of retaliation, and detectives were assigned to other cases. Officer Roger Hintherder submitted a comprehensive report that contained detailed information about potential informants willing to share what they knew. In 1984, the officer noticed a trend of murders tied to the Outlaws. The killings all unsolved. At least an individual came forward to give an official statement. The information was shared anonymously, with the guarantee of the informant entering the witness protection program. After hours of interview with the officers, efforts resulted in the elusive person named John. People were terrified that the ex-con, who had been a convicted of R as well as operating a car thief ring that extended to neighboring states, several persons described Bushman of the Outlaws enforcer as an extremely dangerous individual who eliminated anyone who talked about the club members. When Outlaw Joe Stoll told his stripper girlfriend about Larry's murder, she disappeared. Cliff Marchand was arrested when a crate of TNT and blasting caps were found on his property. After the arrest, he agreed to tell police what he knew. The Outlaws also disappeared. Bushman and Stoll had been seen sitting in a white pickup truck parked in the dirt driveway. In the back of the truck were a shovel and a broom. Later, an anonymous source said that Hinterger and Stoll may have been buried under the farm's chicken coop. 22-year-old Michael Dozick was arrested for reckless driving a few days later. He was found on the kitchen floor of his Washington County home with a bullet in his back. Upstairs, police discovered the body of Sandy Dozick and her 10-year-old son, Brock. Both had bullets in the back of their head. Brock had been shot in the back of the head, too. Acting on information provided by a confidential source, the detective brought a forensic team to search the land owned by John Bushman's uncle. An arm, some teeth, and a skull believed to be Marchand's were found in a hole and covered with lime. 20 years later, Larry's death, detectives brought a staggering amount of evidence to Paul Butcher, the newly appointed district attorney, including there were transcripts from individuals who believe that Marchand and Stoll were co-conspirators in the murder, including proof that the bomb was assembled on Marchand's farm. Butcher was skeptical and declined to take the case. Hitchender wondered if the DA had been intimidated by John Bushman to drop the case. Some individuals connected to the murder of Larry instead have died or disappeared over the years. After 30 years of service, Robert Hinderman resigned in 1997. His home was filled with dozens of boxes containing arrest records, photos, interview transcripts, autopsy reports, and more. The collection held damning information pointing to the person who killed Larry. Hitchender said that he and other detectives knew who murdered Larry, but they couldn't prove it. So more than 50 years later, this case remains unsolved. So who do you guys think killed Larry? I don't think that it was meant for the kid, but I think he was collateral damage. So the guy who was a part of the Heaven's Devils, whose car it was, I guess he used to have metal plating on his walls. And shout out to Pee-wee. Pee-wee has met this guy in the past. You know, Pee-wee is from that area. I believe he grew up in Wisconsin and then moved to Minnesota. Wisconsin, Minnesota, right next to each other. So I spoke to Pee-wee, and he said that he's met this guy before. And he used to have metal on his walls. So the outlaws couldn't get them with bombs and things, but they were using bombs left and right. So all the information points to them trying to get the Heavens Devils, and they killed this kid by accident. It's a pretty crazy story. And Pee-wee told me a story yesterday, but I'm going to have him tell it. I'm going to bring him on and have him explain what happened. And my apologies on the reading skills. I'm working on it. I know I'm not top in my class at reading, but I'm getting there. JMM, what's going on? Thank you for joining me this afternoon. Big things are coming. Thanks for joining the chat. Bill Staxx, thanks for bringing these amazing true stories you won't hear anywhere else. R.I.P. Larry. ADX, hard comics go to Florence. Yeah, but I don't know if that guy was charged federally. It doesn't say. This guy. I don't know if he was charged by the feds. Let me see. He was charged by the state. So he's in Idaho State Prison. He wasn't charged federally. So let me ask you guys a question. You guys might know more than me. I mean, I've heard stories of this happening before. I know Joey Merlino has been charged twice with different crimes in the state and in the feds. So this guy gets caught, right? And arrested and charged and gets convicted and goes to prison in the state. So now can the feds come and charge him with the same thing? I mean, they possibly can, right? Charge him with federal crimes, but like a different type of crime. I don't think they could charge him with the same exact crime. I think they could charge him with another type of crime. Does anybody know? Hey, so loud. What's going on? Nice to see you, man. Shout out to North Carolina. I guarantee you there's going to be big news coming out of North Carolina soon. It's been very quiet down there. But I've definitely been keeping my eye open on North Carolina. So there's a story. Let me see. There's a story going around, and I'm about to debunk it. Because people are believing this shit. I mean, if it's on the internet, people think it's real. Let me see. Let me get this picture for you guys. Here it is. A lot of good interviews dropping. I interviewed this guy named Kevin. He's a former a former outlaw probate. And then he was a motorcycle minister for the Banditos. So it's a really good interview. That one's going to be dropping soon. I have, there's so many damn interviews. It's crazy how many interviews that I have to drop. The rest of Billy's interview will be dropping. I think today is part 5 or 6 is going to be dropping tonight. I have, Nick, this guy Nick, he was involved with I don't even know how to explain it. An organization, a white organization, we'll say that, right? And he was in prison, fully dedicated to this organization, right? Joe Blunt's what's going on. And he changed his whole life. He had all these tattoos, got them all covered. And I have the videos of him getting his tattoos covered. So it's pretty crazy. What the hell is that? A fucking, I think there's a damn, mosquito in here or something. But that interview's pretty good. There's a lot of really good interviews. Here, I'll play a clip of it. And I'm not playing the whole damn thing, so. Let's see. Check this one out.
What's up, guys? It's Nick, aka Servant Nick 41, and I'm chatting with Staxx.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Nick.
And I come back and he's packing my stuff. He's like, man, you gotta go. I'm like,
What?
Yeah, come on, man. I'm like, I was pissed, man. I'm like, the one time I asked for help, this is it. And so I remember I grabbed my big trash bags full of clothes. I threw them in my car and I was gone. And that was it. That was the start of, I'm not going to prison. I'm willing to do anything to not go to prison. I went on the run. And then that was when, we started with the one demon. This is where the 7 demons came out.
So where do you go from there?
Man, it was, well, first I'm doing really bad. I can't go home. I can't go anywhere. They're already looking for me. So I'm like, what do I do? So I go and I start staying in my connect's house, and I'm broke, and I have my car and I have my clothes in the back. It was a really low moment. And I remember there was this guy that owned this antique store, and I was constantly selling him stuff. So the job I had, I was able to legally come up on a lot of gold or silver or antiques, and I would take him to him. And I had sold him some stolen stuff in the past. But, at this point I was doing the right thing. And I go to him, and his name is Doug. And I'm like, hey, Doug, man, I don't know what to do. I got a dog. I had my pit bull, and I need help, man. I need like $100, and I'll pay you back, I promise. And he gave me $100, man. And I actually turned that $100 into a very lucrative dealing business.
So that interview will be dropping. There's a lot of them. Billy's interview. Let me see what episode we're on. Hold on. There's a damn fly in here somewhere. I'm gonna kill that motherfucker. Let's see here. How many people watching that Ed Gein story? It's pretty wild, pretty crazy story. It really doesn't make a lot of sense, but they're like flashing back and forth. Like you get kind of confused on what exactly is going on. Part 6. Part 6 is dropping tonight. I got something major coming up. I'm waiting to tell you guys. Let's watch a little bit of Part 6.
I am a ex-member of the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club. I'm a person in long-term recovery, and I am chatting with Staxx. Asked each other, did the head nod, kept going, and then oddly enough, in my timeline, it's just going to be a little mess.
Let's check out the other one. I want to show you guys the part where he gets his tattoos removed. Check this out.
I am a ex-member on your side of the club tattoos, and then they started, blacking that out as well through the burns, and then, eventually at the end of it all, brought me to a hotel, dropped me off, and basically, you stay on your side of the street, we'll stay on ours.
But this is your whole life at this time, right?
Yeah.
What about your motorcycle? Where did your motorcycle go? What happens with that?
Motorcycles, I signed it over. I signed over the title.
Wow.
It's kind of an unwritten thing, you know what I mean? Back then they used to say, if you're not a Hells Angel, you don't need a motorcycle.
He said, if you're not a Hells Angel, you don't need a fucking motorcycle. Crazy. So there's a lot of interviews dropping. If you want to watch the whole interview, join the membership. If not, you can wait for the interview. It's 10 parts. The Hells Angel one is 10 parts. There's a whole bunch of interviews dropping. I interviewed Cliff from the Red Rum Motorcycle Club. I interviewed Matty Boy. Shout out to Matty Boy. I got another interview with Thomas Vestigo from COSA. I interviewed Kevin, the ex Outlaw Prospect or Probate. They call them probates, not prospect. But there's so many interviews dropping. I interviewed this guy Grateful. That one's going to be dropping. I know there's more. I interviewed what's his name? Batshit Ben Bassam. Remember we went over his video to the Twin Outlaw Brotherhood? That video is going to be dropping soon. Go to Patreon. I'll probably drop that one today.
This is Batshit Ben Bassam from Jomo Stompers Worldwide, and I'm chatting with Staxx.
This is Cliff Matthias. I'm the international president of Red Rum Motorcycle Club, and I'm here chatting with Staxx.
I'm Kevin Haygood, Los Cristianos Motorcycle Ministry, East Texas, and I'm chatting with Staxx.
I'm Thomas Goofy Vestergaard, and I'm chatting with Staxx.
Hey, I'm Matty Boy. I'm over here chatting with the man Staxx. It's an honor to be on a platform that's got integrity like this man does, man. I'm happy he reached out, and I'm glad I'm here chatting with the man.
Lots of great content on the way. I hope you guys like the stuff that I'm bringing you. There's a lot more. It's going to be pretty dope. The one's pretty interesting, though. You got to watch the one with Ben Batshit Bassam.
This is Batshit Ben Bassam from Jomo Stompers Worldwide, and I'm chatting with Staxx.
Stompers Worldwide. Shout out to Ben Batshit Bassam. He explains a lot of things about the Twin Outlaw Brotherhood and the videos he made, and he explains what he's got going on and how he tried to start a motorcycle club. You guys got to watch that one. It's very entertaining. I hope you guys like this show. If you do, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you want to donate to the show, you can hit up the Cash App at Chattin with Staxx. Or you can hit up Venmo, PayPal, Super Stickers, Super Chats, Zelle, all that good stuff. If you want to be a guest and tell your story on Chattin with Staxx, just email me at billstaxx2021@gmail.com. And again, if you guys see that page that's pretending to be Pee-wee, go over there and handle your business. This woman, her name is Maria, I think it's Fitz. She is trying to scam people for thousands of dollars, pretending to be Pee-wee, pretending to sell books. And it's really not right what she's doing to Pee-wee. So if we can get that taken care of, she needs to be stopped. And a lot of people have reported the page, but it seems like they won't do anything about it. It's crazy. It's insane. I'm looking for let me see if I can find it. I think this is it. Yeah, that's it. 350. I heard people 500, 550. So you see that picture? That is not Pee-wee's page. That is an imposter. So if you see this page, report it, do what you got to do. But her name, her real name, because I got the phone number. She gave me the phone number by accident. And I said, oh, yeah, I got a Zelle for you, but I need a phone number. So they gave me the phone number. The name is Teresa Marie Ritson, Ritson. They're from La Lutz, New Mexico. So if you want that information, message me and I'll provide it for you. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Wow, was Jessica Kent really arrested? Yes. She was arrested about a month ago, but she got out. It was something to do with the internet. I don't know if it was violation of a protective order. I think that's what it was. I think that burner guy got a protective order on her or something like that, and she violated it. Cops called her and told her to chill out with what she was doing, and she was acting like it's no big deal. I don't give a shit. So they came and arrested her. Yes, she's definitely falling from grace. I appreciate you guys. Have a great day. I hope you guys like this show. If you do, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell your mother's, brother's, sister's friend about Chattin with Staxx, the dopest motorcycle content on YouTube. I appreciate all you guys. And remember, don't be a bitch.
And all new at 5, a major organized crime bust. 23 people under arrest now, accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged, and investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen.